This video is sponsored by TokyoTreat and Sakuraco. What's up everyone, Jun with the Sushi Man, and in this video I'm going to teach you how to make Chirashizushi, or sometimes called barazushi, depending on the area of Japan. Chirashizushi translates to scattered sushi, and is where a variety of toppings are scattered on top of a bed of sushi rice. There are some traditional ingredients, but there's really no right or wrong, which makes it super versatile and fun to make. It's also the perfect type of sushi for parties, especially potlucks. Alright, so without further ado, let's jump right in. First, let's go over our ingredients. Most importantly, we need to make some sushi rice. You can check out my sushi rice video if you don't know how to make this. Next, let's go over our chirashi mix ingredients, which are the ingredients we're going to mix in with the rice. We need some dried shiitake mushrooms, about 4 to 5 depending on the size, 1 small carrot, about 6 pieces of seasoned inari. Now, ideally you want to use unseasoned aburage, which is basically the fried tofu by itself, before it's been seasoned. But they're not as readily available, so if you can find it, great. If not, there's nothing wrong with using these. Okay, next we have some dashi stock. I like to make my own, but you can also use the powder version and just mix it in with water. We're going to need about a half a cup. Next we need 2 tablespoons each of sake, soy sauce, and mirin. And then 1 tablespoon of sugar. That's it for the chirashi mix ingredients. Now for the toppings, we're going to be making something called kinshi tamago, which is basically a shredded egg crepe. For this we're going to need 3 large eggs, 1 teaspoon of mirin, a pinch of salt, and a teaspoon of potato starch or cornstarch, either one. And then for the rest of the toppings, I'll be using some snow peas, about 6 to 8 of them. You can use snap peas as well. About 6 ounces of unagi. And I'm going to use some hamachi today, but you can use whatever seafood you like. Salmon, tuna, shrimp all go well in chirashi. This is about a half a pound. Next we have some ikura, which are salmon roe. Then some kizami nori to top it all off. And lastly, of course, some wasabi, ginger, and soy sauce on the side. Alright, that's it for the ingredients. Now it's time to prep. But first, if you're a fan of Japanese food, especially the amazing snacks, then you're definitely going to want to check out these awesome boxes that I have. TokyoTreat and Sakuraco, which happens to be the sponsor of this video. TokyoTreat is a monthly subscription box that's packed with the latest limited edition seasonal snacks straight from Japan. That means you can't find these here in the States, or anywhere else besides Japan. It also comes with instant ramen and drinks. Sakuraco is also a monthly subscription box that features traditional Japanese snacks that are made from local artisans. So obviously you can't get this stuff anywhere besides Japan either. Each box comes with 20 authentic artisan snacks, including Japanese teas and special Japanese tableware. Now that's really cool. Both are delivered straight to your door and have a different theme every month. And if you order by September 15th, you'll get these exact same boxes. Alright, now let's see what's inside. Okay, so I actually opened this box already and I went through all the items and I even tried one of the snacks. And then my camera app totally crapped on me and didn't record the video. So this is the second time around, but hey, you know what? It happens. So this month, TokyoTreat's theme is the Moonfest Snacktacular. So September is the month of Tsukimi, or Moon Festival. It's very similar to the Mid-Autumn Festival where people celebrate the fullest moon of the year, which happens towards the middle of the month. Basically, everyone gathers together to watch the moon while eating great food and drinking lots of sake. Hey, sounds like an amazing party to me. Alright, let's check out the goodies we have in here. So here's a snack that I already opened and tried. And if you have no clue what these things are, don't worry. They give you this cool booklet that has all the information in it. Talks about what tsukimi is and the culture, what each snack is, allergen information. I mean, these guys know what they're doing. Alright, so I've already tried one, but let's get into our tasting. So this is the one that I've already opened and tried. It's called Guriru Spicy Ninniku Sen. It's basically spicy garlic chips. Now, I gotta try again for the camera, right? It's crunchy, crispy, and it has a pretty strong garlic flavor, which I personally love. Kind of like a garlic shrimp chip, which will go great with some Japanese beer. Okay, now let's try something a little bit sweeter. Mini moonlight cookies. They're definitely mini-sized. Itadakimasu. That's really good. It's kind of like a butter sugar cookie. Super satisfying. Wish it came in a bigger bag, but it's perfect for a small snack. Alright, Now let's move on to our Sakuraco box. And I'm assuming by the look of the box that... Yep, the theme is also the Autumn Moon Festival. Which is really cool when they do this because you get to experience the same thing but in two totally different ways. And tsukimi is a big deal in Japan, so it makes sense. Okay, let's see what's inside here. Ooh, and let's open up this special tableware. Nice. Look at that. Cute little tsukimi dish. I love how they include these. Makes you want to collect them all. Alright, tasting time. As always, I'm going to start off with the tea. This time it's a ryokucha, which is Japanese green tea. That always soothes the soul. You really can't go wrong with some good, hot green tea. Doesn't matter that it's 90 degrees outside, still hits the spot. And since I have this nice cup of tea, I'm going to try this. Tsukimi Mikan Cream Cookie I think this was, which should pair very nicely. Itadakimasu. So good. It's like a thin cookie sandwich with a mikan cream. Mikan is a type of mandarin orange that's native to Japan. So it has like this slight tart and sweetness to it. Let's try it with the tea. Oh yeah, that's absolutely perfect with the green tea. Really good. Alright, the second one I'm going to try is this kinako mochi. Mochi is a big part of the Moon Festival, so I gotta try this, right? Itadakimasu. So, it has a kokuto filling, which is Okinawan brown sugar. And this powdery stuff on the outside is the kinako, which is roasted soybean flour. It's not overly sweet, and it has that distinct kinako flavor, which is one of my favorite types of mochi. I'm gonna have one more. That's really good. Now, I could easily eat the rest of this, but I'll save it for my wife and son. And my family has so much fun going through these boxes. My son especially looks forward to them every month. And I mean, look at all this. They really pack these boxes. So if you or someone you know is a fan of Japanese snacks, then it's definitely worth checking out. And it makes for an awesome gift as well. Again, you could get these exact same boxes if you order by September 15th. And when you go to the link in the description below, use my special code TheSushiMan to get $5 off your first order for both TokyoTreat and Sakuraco. It's made snack time so much more fun for my family, so I highly recommend it, especially if you have kids. I mean, what simpler way can you experience authentic Japanese snacks from the comfort of your own home? Thank you so much to TokyoTreat and Sakuraco for sponsoring this video. Alright, now back to our Chirashizushi. So first, let's get our chirashi mix ready. And the first thing you want to do is soak the dried shiitake, because this can take a long time. You may even want to soak it overnight depending on the type you have. And you just soak the shiitake in 3/4 cup water until it's fully tender, and make sure it's fully submerged. I like to put a small bowl on top so that it keeps it down. This one's been soaking for about an hour now, so it should be ready to go. So once the shiitake is fully rehydrated, we're going to squeeze some of the excess moisture out back into the bowl. And make sure you don't toss this liquid. We're going to use this as part of our dashi when we cook it. So we strain this into a small pot or saucepan. And then we're going to cut the shiitake into thin slices. And some of them may have some longer stems, which you can just cut off. Now we just add this into the pot. We're also going to add our dashi stock in here as well. Okay, next let's peel and cut our carrot. And basically we're just going to julienne slice this into about 1/8 inch thick sticks that are about an inch, inch and a half long. Alright, now let's cut the inari. And we're just going to cut this into about 1/4 inch strips. Okay, now let's make our otoshibuta, or droplet for our pot. And we're going to make a very simple one out of foil. So just cut out a piece of foil and then we're going to shape this into the size of this pot, into a circle. You want it to fit right over the ingredients with a little bit of space around the edges. And then poke a couple holes in the middle. And that's it. Simple yet efficient otoshibuta. Now let's start boiling this over medium-high heat. Okay, once it starts to boil, take a small ladle or sieve and skim off the foam from the surface. Now let's add in our carrots, sake, soy sauce, mirin, and sugar. Now we give this a gentle stir. And then we're going to let this simmer on medium-low for about 12 to 15 minutes with the otoshibuta on. Alright, it's been about 15 minutes now, so let's take a look. Good, you'll notice that the liquid has reduced quite a bit. That's what you want. Now let's add in the inari and give it a quick mix. And then we're going to let this cool with the otoshibuta still on. Now let's move on to our kinshi tamago. First we're going to crack open the eggs in a bowl and then add the mirin and salt. Now we just mix it all together, but try not to mix it too much where it gets a lot of air inside. Now we're going to strain this into another bowl so that it helps get the color more uniform. Then we make a little slurry by adding the potato starch and about a tablespoon of water. Then add it into the egg mixture and give it a light stir. This helps keep the egg more intact while we cook it. Okay, now let's heat up a non-stick pan over medium heat. Once it warms up a bit, we'll add in a bit of oil. And I like to use a scrunched up paper towel and spread it out evenly all the way around. Alright, now lower the heat to about medium-low. And then we're going to pour the egg mixture in here so that it evenly coats the bottom of the pan. But you want to keep it thin, about half of this at a time. Gently tilt and swirl it around. And then we'll let this cook for about 30 seconds. Once you start to see the edges peel off easily like this, get underneath with a spatula and flip it right over. And then cook it for about another 10 seconds or so. Now just transfer it onto a plate. And then we just do the same exact thing for the rest of the egg. Alright, now we just let this cool before we cut it. Okay, once it's cooled down, we're going to take one sheet at a time and roll it up nice and tight. And then we just start slicing this really thin. And that's it. Good job. Now you know how to make kinshi tamago. Alright, moving on to the snow peas. First, let's start boiling some water in a small saucepan. Add a little bit of salt. While we wait for that to boil, let's remove the fiber from the snow peas. And all we have to do is just start from one end, on the straight side, rip off a tiny bit of the corner, or maybe not. Geez, finally. And then just pull it off like a string. Sometimes you might have to do it from the other end as well. Okay, once the water is boiling, we're going to blanch this in here for about a minute or so. And you want to make sure you have an ice bath ready because once it's done, we're going to immediately transfer it over here to stop the cooking. Now we're going to pat this dry with some paper towel. And then we simply cut each one in half diagonally. Okay, now on to our hamachi. And all we're doing here is cutting this into about 1/2 inch cubes, just like for poke. Now on to our unagi. First we want to broil this on high for about 6 minutes or so, with the skin side up. Now we're going to cut this into about 1/2 inch squares. And now we're done with all the prep. All we do from here is assemble everything and plate it, which honestly is the easiest part. First, we're going to add the chirashi mix into our sushi rice. And you want to squeeze out some of the excess juice so that the rice doesn't get too soggy. Just an easy, gentle squeeze. Now we mix this all in nice and evenly. Okay, from here you can either transfer it into a serving bowl or just keep it in the oke if you like. Now from here, lay the kinshi tamago all across. Okay, now we scatter all the other ingredients. And with the snow peas, I like to take a couple pieces and put it together like this, to make them look kind of like leaves. Now we add some dollops of ikura. And lastly, a little bit of kizami nori on top. And there you have it. Look how pretty that is. And there's really no right or wrong on how you plate it, so don't overthink it. It's called scatter sushi for a reason. But you see how convenient this is for larger groups or potlucks? You just put everything in a large bowl and done. No need to keep making rolls or each individual nigiri piece. It's kind of a lazy way to make sushi, but hey, nothing wrong with that, especially since it's delicious. Now, if you enjoy recipes like this and the way I teach, then you'll for sure be interested in my book. It's called How to Make Sushi at Home, a fundamental guide for beginners and beyond. It's packed with recipes just like this and so much other sushi knowledge. We're talking how to source the right seafood, prepping it properly, cutting sashimi, making rolls, nigiri, tempura, sauces, even how to pair it with your favorite drinks. So if you're looking to level up your sushi making skills, then this is your ultimate guidebook. Links are in the description below for those that are interested. Alright, thanks for watching, and feel free to leave me any questions or comments below. And don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button if you're enjoying my channel. I'll see you on the next one. ありがとうございます。